Okay, we're going to talk about saving SPSS data files and output files. Here's a file that we've been working with for a while. I've called this example, input example 1. I've already saved it, so you can see this icon here is shaded out, so I can't resave it because I would just get what I have already. But if you look in File, Save As, I could resave it as the same name, which I'm going to do, or I could save it as a different name. It's going to save it in the Documents file. And it is an .sav file, which means it's a data file. So it's asked me if I want to replace it. I'm going to say no. Okay. So that's how you save a file. You may also want to save a file in a different format. So say, for example, you wanted to save the same file, but now you wanted to save it as an Excel file. You can do that by going into this Save As Type and switching this to an Excel file. I'm going to keep it as the same name and save it in Documents. So I'm just going to save this file, and notice I get an output message, tells me the name of my file. It's the same name, but the suffix XLSX is different, and it also tells me the variable names, the width of the column, the number of spaces for decimal points, and this is a number file. So it gives me a little information there. So I'm not going to save what's in this particular output screen, so I'm just going to click on no. Now I want to run a file. We ran a file previously where we did some frequencies, so I'm just going to go back in that file, click on OK, and it'll rerun it. Okay, so now I have an output file. It tells me my variable names. I've got some frequencies and percentages and so on. So if I want, now notice the name of this file is output 10. This simply means it's an output file. It is statistical output. And this is the 10th output file I've run for this data set since I've logged in. So if I want to save it, I'm just going to say Save As. And I'm going to give it the same name here, input example 1. Now notice there's already an example 1 .save, that's the data file, and .xlsx, that's the data file in Excel. So I'm going to save it. And now notice the name of the file is input example1.spv. Files that are output files in SPSS always have the suffix of SPV. This means it's an output file. And this is great for you because it is good for you to save your files and name them well, which will save you a lot of time over the long run, and keep it stored on your computer. However, if you want to share this file with someone who does not have SPSS, they will not be able to open this file. So let's try saving it in a different format so it's more easily accessible to other people. So we're going to go into File, Export. Now notice it asks the objects to export all visible or selected, so we can choose this. Usually you're just going to select the whole file. Sometimes you're going to click on parts of a file and just select those files. The file type here, you have several selections from text to Excel to HTML, but I want to save it as a PDF file. This is a very easily accessible file format, and also people can't change what's in there. So this tells us where it's going to be saved. It's in my C drive in Documents, and I'm going to save it as, I'm going to give it a name here, and the name I'm going to give it is input example1.pdf. Now notice input example was in here already because I had named previous files that. So what appears in this last section before the .pdf, you can delete it and put in whatever file name you want here. So I'm going to use that file name. I'm going to click on OK. It's going through the export process. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into my documents. And in my documents, I'm going to look for these files. Okay, so notice I've got 4 files named input example 1. One is the data document. Another one is the data document in Excel. So first of all, here's the original data. Oh, it doesn't give me a preview, but I can see a preview in Excel. Also, it gives me the file, the output. This is in SPSS. And then finally, it gives the output in a PDF. And so we can see what the PDF file looks like. It just has the information that we're looking for, the same as appears in the SPSS output file. And this is a file you can send or you can use in any way you choose.